the Savvy Gamer here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Going to be doing something I haven't done for a while. It's just a nice whisper ramble, but in front of me right now is a big bowl of ramen. Nothing fancy, just some good old classic Mr. Noodles, and I'm going to be attempting to eat them with chopsticks. I'm not the most mastered chopstick manipulator in the world. Still struggle quite a bit, actually, but I'm still usually able to pull a few noodles at a time. So I did try to record this before, but realized that I didn't hit ARM for record, and I didn't actually have any audio recording, so I don't have as much ramen in my bowl, but that doesn't matter, because I still have some left. And we're just going to ramble about Star Wars: The Old Republic. One of my favorite Star Wars games. I think it is probably one of the most impressive games that has been able to continue to have such a big player base after all these years, after like 14 years. As always, before we get into the video, just if you like the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's get into it and, ramble with some ramen. So, I think that Star Wars: The Old Republic is so impressive due to the fact that it still has such a big player base, as I mentioned, after all these years. But also just the amount of replayability there is. I definitely think that, being able to play as so many different classes definitely helps with that. The fact that you can play as a Jedi Knight, a Jedi Consular, a Smuggler, or a Republic Trooper, or a Sith Warrior, Sith Inquisitor, an Imperial Agent, or an Imperial Trooper, is definitely, not an Imperial Trooper, thinking about actual Star Wars Imperial Troopers, Stormtroopers, and all them, but bounty hunters. I think that definitely gives definitely replayability, because they all have their own storylines. It's not like you're just picking a class and playing the exact same storyline as if you had played another class or any of the other classes, which is always a big plus for me, because I am all about replayability. Also why I love story-driven but also decision-based games where your decisions actually matter in the game. For an example, I believe it's in the Sith Warrior playthrough, where you are on, I believe is now Hada, and you, or maybe Balmora, I can't remember now, it's been a while, where you essentially are tracking down a Jedi Master, and his Padawan is there, and you can either choose to corrupt the Padawan to go to the dark side if you're playing more of a dark side morality, or keep her as like a Jedi, essentially like a dark Jedi, if you're playing more the light side playthrough of the Sith. So definitely something like that appeals to me, because you actually get to, some of the choices actually affect, the outcome. Now, another thing that I definitely applaud Star Wars The Old Republic for is not having a silent protagonist. Every character in class that you choose to play has fully active voice lines, which is nice for a change from something like KOTOR or KOTOR 2, actually The Old Republic, for those of you who aren't familiar. It just adds another level of immersiveness to the game, in my opinion. It's one thing when you have a silent protagonist, if you're into that. But for me, it's always felt out of place where if the protagonist is like a silent protagonist, but all your companions have voice lines, that just never felt right to me. And I'd love to know your guys' opinion on that as well. If you think it feels weird that, all your companions and other characters in the game have written dialogue and voice acted dialogue, and, you're just sitting there kind of hanging out and just picking the voice line or picking a response, but not actually hearing your character say it. Like if you're someone that enjoys that because you can kind of imagine a voice in your head what your character would sound like, let me know. Like I definitely have nothing against it. I just very much prefer to be able to hear the voice of a character when they're actually saying the lines. Like I said, makes it a little more immersive for me. So I'm almost out of noodles now, so you're going to hear a little bit more clinging and probably chopstick tapping. So just be prepared. Might have to get the spoon out here soon so I can start eating some of the broth or drinking some of the broth. I'm picking up some of those rogue noodles just because my chopstick skills are not exactly skilled enough yet, or not trained enough yet to pick up individual noodles. So I might have to do that. Another thing with the Old Republic, excuse me, is the PvP aspect. Now for me, I don't really do the PvP thing. I just stick mainly to the PvE. And that's just personally based on an experience I had the one time I tried to do any PvP. I tried to challenge another player to a duel and promptly and swiftly got my ass kicked. With my Sith warrior. So I haven't partaken in any PvP stuff. And I actually haven't even done any of the dungeons or raids or anything like that. I prefer to just follow more of the storyline and just kind of follow through and play more of a single player thing, even though I know it's an MMO. Just how I like to play it. And I'm sure there are many more like me that just prefer to kind of go at their own pace, not worry about other players and that kind of thing. But something else I'd like to know from you guys. Do you guys do PvP stuff? Do you prefer PvP more than PvE? Yeah, like, let me know. You might find me maybe in the future starting to do more PvP stuff as I level up a little bit more. Now that I've been playing Star Wars: The Old Republic for, well, I started playing it just after it came out in 2011, but I haven't played it consistently. I've been kind of on and off. You know, I have periods where I have a PC, where I didn't have a computer, or sometimes where I just want to play other Star Wars games instead. So I feel like that I would consider myself probably a more casual player, more than definitely not hardcore, but if I do start playing more, I would like to start maybe trying to explore some more PvP. Just to kind of see what it's like, or even doing some of the raids or anything like that where you're playing with others. I haven't really done much of the space combat either. I think I've only done a handful through my entire time playing The Old Republic. Not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just not, for me, it's not a strong suit of the game. It's not one of its strengths. It's not something that makes me keep going, oh, I need to keep going, I need to go back to space combat, I need to do the space combat, all that kind of stuff. Not a huge draw point for me. Now other people might enjoy the space combat very much. And obviously, once again, nothing against them. It's just not for me. Not a big need for me to be able to make Star Wars: The Old Republic enjoyable. There are many other aspects that do that for me for the game. Now, another thing with The Old Republic. The storylines, while some of them are definitely on the cliche side of things, you know, not to really give anything away, but in one of them where an ancient enemy is, you know, revealed and you have to go stop them, that kind of thing. Kind of a cliche thing for games or movies. It works. It's not bad by any means. I definitely just think that they're able to build off of it, and they're not just doing every single cliche in the book. Whoops. If that was very loud, I apologize. But they don't throw everything in the book at the storyline. They actually build on it in unique ways. They make it enjoyable. They make it so that it's actually unique in its own way. Especially when you have 8 different storylines. Very well done in that respect. All in all, Star Wars: The Old Republic has always been a very, how do I want to say it? It's always been a game that has brought me back, and back again, and back again. There's never been a time where I, if I'm scrolling through my games library on Steam, where I'm like, you know what, Star Wars: The Old Republic, I'm done with it. It's all, I've never uninstalled it, willingly. Obviously, if I get rid of a computer, I'm gonna clean it and format it. But it's never a game that I've just been like, yeah, I need to get rid of this. It's taking up room that I'm never gonna play again. No, because I'm always gonna come back to it at some point. I'm pretty much done with my ramen now, so I feel like this is a good place to kind of end off. This video would have been longer if the original recording would have stuck, and if I hadn't been such a big dum-dum and actually realized that I wasn't recording before I spent about 15 minutes rambling about Star Wars and eating half my bowl of ramen. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see me put out more rambles, definitely let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you've been liking the content I've been putting out. I know I haven't put out much in the last little while, but I'm hoping to get back to a regular kind of schedule, even if it's 1-2 videos a week, if I can. Obviously, life can get busy, and I hope you guys understand that. And I think many of you do, and I appreciate that very much. But, as always, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.